Today we're going to talk around our accounts module. So right at the top here, our accounts module, and briefly what some of the functions can do for you and what this can present to you. So real-time reporting and easy to use graphical presentation of data. What we tend to recommend people to do before using any modules within TrueERP, go ahead and set the access levels for your certain employees and for certain modules. So whether they have access to account details, whether they have from no access to read only, create and read, full without delete, or full with delete. Usually only a select few people in the organization should have these functions, but majority of the time it will be around read only and create and read. Again, only one or two people inside the organization should have the full with delete option. So again, if we go back to our access levels, if we go ahead and click access levels at the top here, click on accounts, and we can go ahead and set our access levels. With these access levels, you can also copy from another employee. So if you had previously set up an employee from or with specific access levels with insider accounts, you can go ahead and copy that from. So once you've gone and set that up, we can now look at our accounts module. So if we look at our accounts list where we can view our chart of accounts, within this list you can view it from tree mode, or as we call this mode, our list mode. So if we go ahead and click on tree mode again, we can see our chart of accounts in this mode. We can simply click on the plus signs here and that'll open up all the different fields related to these accounts. So if you want to look at your COGS account, see what makes that up, go ahead and you can view that. Again, wherever you see data, simply double click and it will take you back to the transactions that make that up. So we can see with our COGS account here, our details by this account, we can view what makes up these figures, and again, drillable again, and literally takes you back to what makes it up. So a great way of drilling down and viewing what makes up these separate accounts. If we look at it in our list mode, we can view what active accounts we have, whether they're inactive, accounts with budgets, or all accounts again. These lists are completely customizable. You can move things around, you can filter on different fields, you can again, as I said, move things around, but the moment you do anything anywhere, so if I move this around here, close out of that, go back in, it has remembered that function. So if I put description over here, if I go back out, back into accounts list, tree mode, it will remember the changes I've made. So you can design this to suit your needs. Again, these lists or any list actually within TrueERP is completely customizable. So if you want to add certain fields, view different information, simply click on what you want to see, hit OK, and it will load those fields like so. You can export this, print this, and so on. So that's your basic accounts list, viewing your chart of accounts. And again, any piece of information anywhere, completely drillable. We can do reports or view our different reports within our accounts module. We can see here audit trail list. If we want to see what's on our audit trail list, we can see here a full audit trail for our company. Again, we recommend we purge our audit trails just to relieve it of some data, but again, huge amounts of information here. Again, double click for details. We can see on this purchase order, and it will tell me what has happened within this purchase order, how it's calculated that. So we can see when was it done, the details that's around this, what type of transaction was it, and who was it done by. Again, you can search these via different date ranges. You can ignore dates or select the date range you want to select or view from, hit refresh and view that information. Jump back out of there. We also have a function called dashboard. This allows you to view your company as a snapshot. So really quick, the main things that you want to see, income and expenditure summary, so your total, your budget, and your variance between the two. Again, your top 10 customers, price and margin over graph or value. Again, top 10 products, whether they're margin or you want to view it over quantity, and again, graph or value, and same with your sales. So just a real quick and easy way of seeing what's going on in your business. Salesman, who's winning the race, your top 10 moving products, and who are your top 10 customers buying from you. And again, your income over your expenses, so your gross profit and what your actual is, so whether you're winning the race or not. As well as that, you can look at your summary sheet, and this is pretty much the same concept, also just a brief overview of your business. And again, completely drillable. You want to look at your payables, what's current, double click, and it will take you back to the information that makes it up. So we can see our accounts payable report, ignore dates, hit refresh, and what makes up these transactions. Jump back out. You can do full journal entries. Again, double click, cash forecasts, cash flow statements, revenue charts, a huge amount of information within the accounts module in TrueERP. So however you want to view this, whether it's chart or data, view whatever dates you want, you can print this, export this, view this over a monthly basis, quarterly basis, or yearly basis. So if we click quarter, hit refresh, we can see what makes that up. If we jump back out. As well as that, if we go ahead and look at our P&Ls or our profit and loss reports, within our profit and loss report, we can look at our business within different departments. So if we had different departments or cost centers or areas within our business, we can label those and look at it either, so what's going on in our new department, we can see nothing's going on there, our default department, and we can look at the final amount as a consolidated group. So if you've got several different departments, you can have those up here and look at them individually to see what each location or department is doing, whether they're being cost effective or not, and you can look at your business as a whole being this consolidated group here. You can exclude tax, we can look at both, we can include data prior to the closing dates that you've selected, and again you can view this from different dates. So if we wish to see what makes up these uninvoiced sales orders, we can go back and see what makes it up. Again, double click and it will take you back to the sales order like so. We can see the client name, so who was this for, what the amount was, what the taxable amount was, what type of procedure was it, so we can see an uninvoiced sales order, and what cost center was it done for. So if you had different cost centers, they would label up like so. Jump back out of there. If you wanted to run a VAT, you can simply go and hit VAT return here, select how you want to run it, select what date ranges, hit refresh, and it would populate your VAT. So we look at different dates, and there we go. So huge amount of information there and really simple in running a VAT. With this VAT, we also have different options that we can select from. What departments you want to run this VAT for. If you had different selections here, you could choose whatever department you wanted to run a VAT for, or again you can run a VAT for all of your departments combined as one consolidated group. Again, pick your periods, whether it's monthly or quarterly, select when you want to start the VAT, hit refresh, and it will populate your data like so. Jump back out of there. As well as that, you can look at monthly gross profit comparisons. Simply click on that. It'll populate your data and you can see your gross profit comparisons to your various months. You can edit these charts. You can do multiple different customizations to these charts to view what you want to see. If we jump back out of there, we can also do quarterly gross profit and yearly gross profit comparisons. And lucky last for now, our accounts reports again. If we go in here, you can view any list or report within TrueERP from this function. So if you wanted to look at your budgeting lists or reports, you can go have a look there. Budgeting list definitions, your budgeting lists. Again, double click and it'll take you back to the information that makes it up. You can look at different jobs, budget versus actuals on these jobs. Hit F5 and you can view the information that makes it up. So we can see for this job what the actual is, whether it's a negative or a positive. And there we are. Jump back out of there. So there we are. That's your accounts module within TrueERP, and that's how you get around it. So again, a huge amount of options within the system. Thanks for watching.